I'm Gus.
I'm Blaine.
I'm Becca.
I am Burnie.
And I'm Gus.
Oh, 3 B's and a G.
I was gonna say it's a shame your name's not Bus.
I'm Bus. Bus Sorola. I'm glad
you
you're
could say
here,
your name
Burnie.
twice and be a double-decker bus.
I'm glad you're here.
Why?
Mr. Too Good to Confirm.
I
He's
know.
going to be on the podcast.
I was checking you as early as this morning. I was like, is Burnie confirmed? Is he in?
What does that mean?
Everyone's
maybe.
asking me, is Burnie going to be here? Is Burnie going to be here?
What? I'm on the calendar, aren't I?
You're
Or
on the
maybe.
calendar
You
as
didn't
a
ex-
maybe.
You didn't accept the invite, though.
Okay, so listen.
And you're also not replying to my text messages.
No.
No. Yes.
Your life is about to get so much easier when in regards to me. You're texting the wrong person.
Should we be texting Ellie?
Yes.
Patrick, how did that go?
Ellie didn't respond?
Nobody's responding, Burnie.
I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, Ellie's in
So-
I was
trouble.
excited because it's one less person you have to talk to, but then I realized Ellie's a person too.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
She's a half person.
we were very worried about whether or not Burnie was going to be here. And then maybe on the calendar for the podcast does me no good. It's like I need the seat filled regardless. So it's like, well shit, if she's not here, who am I going to get to sit here?
No, maybe means a very specific thing in my calendar.
What does it mean?
Maybe means hold the day, and then it should be confirmed and go to yes.
Okay.
Once.
But if something better comes up, then he'll take that.
Yeah,
No.
we'll take that.
No, they used to do this thing in my calendar where they'd put holds. You know, because you were in live action. And live action
that's
would
the producers. I don't
live
know.
action would do it for like a week. They'd
Oh,
say
God,
we're holding
yeah.
this whole week, and then I would find out the week of. They don't need me on Monday. They don't need me on Tuesday. They need me on Thursday. But it's like I've held the whole week.
Well,
so now it's like you send me a time, I'll put maybe on it, and then that.
Well,
that'll
what
lock
live
it out.
action does, sorry, Blaine, is they'll block your week,
I don't do this.
and then they'll come down and they'll block 2 days.
Yeah.
And then they'll block 1 day, and then they'll go to an hour.
Yeah.
It's like you fucked me all week long for this hour.
It's location stuff, man. It's hard. You know, it's coordinating all that.
Yeah,
we're,
but
we're just trying to get it in like your generally know where and when we're gonna be shooting.
yeah, but it's like the rest of the week is just like jam packed, and then that day's like, well, shit. Now like I got nothing today except for this 1 hour.
Well, it's
Now-
awesome.
Yeah.
Live it.
Let's
Do it.
get into the interdepartmental weeds of Rooster Teeth here for a second. So one of the things that people like to do on a regular basis is bitch about the live action scheduling. Like, oh, live action took me away from my job for a day or something like that, whatever. Basically what everyone complains about, and Achievement Hunter, they're the biggest bitches about this, is they're like, oh, I only had these people for 90% of this week. You know, every single week. But it's like if live action or somebody takes them for 10% of the time, then it's a calamity and it's all over. It's like, but you walk in there any other time during the 90%, either all of them are at lunch or they're all just sitting there doing nothing, you know? And it's like, all right, I guess this 10% is really holding you guys back from success. This is what's happening.
I'm not gonna comment on this. I'm not gonna comment.
That's the real reason we brought Blaine out here. Slowly
Talk
roast
about-
you
Yeah, scheduling.
in your department.
I got the Laser Team thing right before Laser Team 2. They were still complaining about Laser Team 1. I was like, that was 3 years ago. It was a month 3 years ago. Shut the fuck up. God damn it, shut up.
Everybody's protective of their schedule, of their calendar. And then fucking some of them don't even use their calendar. I'm still getting mad at Gavin for not fixing his fucking calendar.
Ellie and we're still working out the bugs, but yeah, we'll be a lot easier to deal with. So I'm using we now. We're a collective.
Yes.
It's been a lot harder, so we'll
Belly?
see. We will see.
Well, to be fair, this is an off day for the podcast, and
This
I
is an
am
off day.
coming in from out of town.
We are.
So there's a
I
lot
guess
of
I
variables.
should note that we are pre-taping since it's Memorial Day, and we get Memorial Day off now.
So roll
fucking-
the first clip. Let's go.
Fucking.
Blaine, you're a fitness guy. Have you ever heard about matching your diet to your blood type? You ever heard
No.
that?
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Have you ever heard about matching your alcohol consumption to your blood type?
I have not, Gus.
Because let me tell you, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Smirnoff.
And the letter O.
Little segment we call the Smirnoff Sidebar.
I just want to point out there's an O in Smirnoff and in vodka.
There is.
So
And this week, we know we've been doing this every now and then. We do a recurring segment where
Texas, everybody. Hey, Texas.
Hey,
How you
makes
doing?
a special drink for the 4 core members of the Rooster Teeth podcast. And this week, it's Burnie's turn.
Yes, it is.
To have
It
a
is
drink.
my drink
We
this
have
week.
the Burntini, which you see the recipe right there. It's 1.5 ounces of Smirnoff number 21 vodka, 1 ounce of dry vermouth, 1 cup of ice cubes, and 3 olives.
Clear ice cubes.
And you pour the Smirnoff number 21 of vermouth into the mixing glass, add ice, and stir to chill, straight into a martini glass, and garnish with olives. We were talking about this before the podcast, and Texas was saying that it is generally you receive martinis with 1 or 3 olives.
It's considered bad luck if sold us a long time ago that it was considered bad luck if you have more than one olive, or like if it's one or three. It's just one
So
or three.
even numbers of olives are bad.
Pretty much.
Then you can't donate blood.
It's just been great. We did my drink first, and then we did Barbara's last time. So
She had the Caribou Princess or whatever. What was that? It was very floofy.
Barbara's Punch.
Barbara's Punch. Right.
That's my idea, my name.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I came up with it.
Good call.
It's been great having them because we know that Smirnoff, you can get it just about anywhere when you travel, and I know that we all are big fans of Smirnoff, so it's great to have them sponsoring an episode of the podcast. They have great quality at a reasonable price, and again, like we've mentioned before, Smirnoff did invent the Moscow Mule, so hopefully for the next time when we do Gavin's Drink, hopefully we'll be able to get to a Moscow Mule at some point. If you all want to tweet at us, let us know any other ideas that we can try if we can't get the Moscow Mule for Gavin.
Live
use
action
hashtag
will let
RT
him go.
Podcast. And if you're over 21, we highly recommend you check out Smirnoff Vodka. Again, if you're over 21, check it out and let us know what you think with hashtag RT Podcast. Do we have
Thank you.
another hashtag
Look
for
at this
Smirnoff? Or is it
classy
just
drink.
RT Podcast?
They invented
Lovely.
the Moscow Mule.
Thank you, Texas.
I love the Moscow Mule.
It's a good
Yeah,
drink.
it's a great
The
drink.
little copper cup.
Maybe
A little fancy.
the Burntini will replace it as like one of your all-time favorite drinks.
Probably not.
I feel like with
Moscow Mule's so
Burntini, we
good.
maybe should have put like a dash of jalapeno juice in it.
Ooh.
In hindsight.
Can we do
hindsight.
that? Is it too late?
It might be too late.
Also,
Do
I'm
you
not
happen
gonna-
to have any jalapeno juice on you, Blaine?
I don't mean to be that guy, but the bar's over here, but the sign for the bar's over there. Is anybody else bothered by
That's a
that?
permanent bar there. This
Yeah.
is like 6th Street. There's multiple bars.
It was our
okay.
pop up.
Okay, sorry.
You can
Food
have
trailer.
alcohol away from a sign that says bar.
This is true.
So Blaine seems very
I like the
confused.
idea of
sorry,
Blaine
confused.
actually going to a bar and he gets a beer and has to drink it next to the sign that has the name of the beer on it. Like he can't
It's like-
be in a different part of the bar.
This bar's too crowded. We need another bar sign. We can spread the crowds apart. But you were talking about people wanting to match diet to blood type.
Yeah.
And I've heard that before. And I've heard like
I believe
people
it's called the blood type diet.
people try to explain it as like an evolutionary thing where you back thousands of years ago, you have this blood type because your ancestors or whatever
From a
used
certain
to
region.
eat certain diets and certain types of food. So these foods agree with you better than other types of food.
That is correct.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever researched
I
it?
don't even know. I'm actually looking
you?
here,
I'm curious what
trying to figure out.
our diet would be.
So you want a dirtier one, right? Don't you want a dirtier one?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, take this one.
You sure?
Yeah.
You already drink out of it though. Great.
I didn't.
I'm kidding.
I was waiting. I'm a gentleman. I'm waiting.
Thank you.
The dirtier.
I love it.
For people who are familiar with martinis, just means more
dirty.
olive juice poured into
Olive
it.
juice.
So I'm looking blood type diet. What are you, Bernie? O?
Yes, I think so.
He said, "Oh,
negative.
I'm embarrassed because I feel like now I haven't given blood in a few years at least.
I have it written down.
I'm trying to think of the last time I gave blood.
I have a folder in my
We got
iPhone
jalapeno
where
juice?
it has a list of listed.
Patrick,
No way.
Look at that.
Brought it.
So you're going to get jalapeno juice, Bernie?
Patrick, I would let you donate blood.
Oh, sweet.
Just so you know. If I was in charge, I would let you donate blood.
Seems like that's
That's
a dumb thing.
ridiculous
That's a
to
dumb
me.
thing. I'm trying to find.
You just Westworld it and take it straight from his body into yours.
Okay, type
What?
O.
Did I miss that episode of Westworld?
You must have.
Type O blood. A high protein diet heavy on lean meat, poultry, fish, and vegetables, and light on grains, beans, and dairy.
That makes sense.
That's like what I eat already.
Wait, that's for
O.
O negative or just O
That's just O.
blanket O?
Wow.
Type B, which is for me, avoid corn, wheat, buckwheat, lentils, tomatoes, peanuts, and sesame seeds. Chicken is also problematic. He encourages eating green vegetables, eggs, certain meat, and low-fat dairy. That sounds awful.
Low fat dairy? Low
Low-fat
fat dairy and no chicken.
chicken is
And like
problematic.
chicken's the most just like innocuous
Chicken's everywhere.
meat. It's harmless.
Yeah.
Bernie, he's gonna swap yours out
Why?
because you want the jalapenos.
Yeah.
I'll take his existing one if you want.
It's coming down. Here it comes.
Pass it down.
I almost
So
fumbled that
jalapeno
last one.
instead
I'm
of
so
olive
nervous
juice?
that I'm gonna spill this.
Give it a shot. That sounds good.
Anybody else pick up Logan on Blu-ray? It just came out this
I was
week.
gonna buy it last night, but I realized I had too many Blu-rays in my house.
I bought it, and it comes with. I didn't know it was going to do this. It comes with the noir version of the film
Oh,
as
the
well.
black and white?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I guess like they have a version of the film where it's just all in black and white.
I've been following Kojima on Twitter, and that dude loves superhero movies.
No-brainer choice. You no longer have to schlep to the store to buy a cheap disposable razor that gives you a cheap shave. Schlep. That's an old word too. Speaking of,
According to Urban Dictionary, schlep is that one guy in Hawaii that is not over the age of 65. He will tell you that he lives in Costa Mesa and not much after that. You will stalk him and run downstairs to see if he is still there playing volleyball, but he will not be there. He stays on the 6th floor and stares at you as you pass him in the elevator.
Urban Dictionary has gone too far.
Is that the highest voted one, or is that just?
It's like right at the top. It's got 12 upvotes.
It's like every definition is just someone's single-handed experience. Like if you, probably not Burnie.
Or maybe
yours
that's a
is
reference.
Like look up like Becca on Urban Dictionary. It's probably like a beautiful goddess. Like it's everyone just
someone's
does
a
their
little full
own
of
name.
herself.
No, like everyone, every name is like some
The girl who can say anything and make you laugh, especially when she's serious.
Yeah.
But then
okay,
the one below
look
that's
up
like
Blaine.
slut.
Blaine is probably like a jacked dude who's your bro to the end.
Probably not.
It's like Yahoo Answers. That became literally anything but answers you actually want. It was always just the most unbelievable garbage on that site. Be like, yeah, I have this lump on my shoulder and it's
God.
turning very dark. What is that?
Cancer.
And they're like, everyone's like, my sister had that. You have pepper under your skin or something. It was always the stupidest shit. Blaine. To completely fail at something, to be a complete failure.
You blamed it.
Rooster Teeth's Blaine Gibson, who, while not particular failure in his own right, is constantly mocked as being one by his coworkers. Top entry on Urban
They
Dictionary.
had just forgotten that. The community had and now I'm just gonna be like, blamed it.
I had forgotten about that.
Everybody did.
It's back.
Now I'm brought back.
Urban Dictionary, never forget.
What was that thing? Oh shit.
Burnie is to get in one's car and drive around smoking a joint. Let me see what Gus.
Oh, Burnie, that's good. Yeah, I get it.
Gus is the most coolest kid you'll ever meet, even if he does eat a lot of food and gets all the girls to say, "Oh, I love you, Gus. You're so huggable."
I wrote that.
Yeah, you're so
You're so
huggable.
huggable.
I'm so huggable. That's code.
I don't think I've ever hugged Gus.
Second definition for Gus is word that rhymes with bus.
Oh.
So thank you,
Call
Urban
back.
Dictionary, for contributing to public knowledge.
I don't think Gus would let you hug him.
We can hug. You want to hug?
Have we hugged?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Someone sent a photo of us hugging. We
I think
talked
I
about.
made you hug me at a convention
Yeah.
one time.
It was as awkward as I hoped it would be.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
I want it to come up organically. So
I also
we're
don't
not
like
gonna do
that
it on the
shirt.
podcast. We'll do it at like RTX when we're drunk or something, probably.
Did you see that awful, speaking of Tinder, did you see that awful video of the guy who was using a fidget spinner on Tinder?
He just like stuck it on and just went like. Yeah.
What is that?
What are fidget spinners? Everybody's been going nuts over those, and I'm like
They're,
starting to see them.
Little propeller. I think we have one in the marketing office.
I got a fidget cube.
Yeah, see,
Those
that's
are way cooler.
Yeah,
It's-
fidget cubes are better, I think.
It's a same thing. Something
Fidget
to keep-
cubes
something
are
to keep occupied.
expensive. Fidget spinners are like, you can get them for like $1 on promo websites.
I think you know it's a fad whenever it's like you see them at gas stations, and I've seen both fidget cubes and spinners at gas stations. and it's
Gasoline? Fad.
Well, no, it's like that.
Chewing gum? Fad.
It's the impulse counter. They've got like Pokemon cards like right there for the
Fad.
kid to grab.
That's what my 8-year-old nephew wanted for his first communion gift was a fidget spinner.
Oh.
It's what all the kids have.
I don't even have one.
Do you collect them or do you get one and that's it? You're good.
Probably get one until it breaks in a day.
I just miss Beyblades.
I walked into the other studio the other day to do some audio, and Carrie had a fidget spinner, and he was so happy with it. He was like running around, showing it to everybody, spinning it, and trying to. I started asking him, "Can you do tricks with it? Like, put it on your fingertip and like spin it around?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I haven't figured that out yet. I can't do that yet." I think he's
It's like
working on it.
the yo-yo balls of this generation.
Yeah.
Dude,
Pet rock.
did you guys ever have a yo-yo fad at your school?
Oh, a yo-yo fad? Not real yo-yos.
We had it in my school. Yeah.
Duncan, man.
Dunkin'
They cleaned
yo-yos,
up.
yeah.
Got big for a little bit. It just came back and then was gone in like 4 months.
The glow in the dark yo-yo, the butterfly.
I did
Butterfly was
have-
dope.
Yeah, I did have a glow-in-the-dark one. Or like one that like lit up as it spun.
Oh right, yeah.
Were we talking about AIDS before?
Always.
Sure.
I want to bring that back up because I was like really interested in where that conversation was going.
Oh, it was, right
oh.
before we started recording.
Oh right. We were talking about
CRISPR.
CRISPR. Yeah, that was before we started
Right.
rolling.
Gus and
we
I
were talking about
before the
CRISPR genetic modifications.
And I want to say before we start talking about this, there's like a billion internet videos about this. And you should probably go watch all of those because that's about our level of knowledge of what this is. Gus, you seem
Yeah,
way more
there's-
steeped in it than I am.
There's also a great
So
episode.
this is a trigger warning for science kids.
Yes.
You're about to get super upset.
It's the first I've heard about it.
There's also a great episode of Vice from last season
No such thing.
that covered CRISPR. and about the mummy, talking about something different. I saw a ridiculous headline this morning that I saw it. I was like, this is totally podcast talk. And I'm going to bring it up right here. The headline, it's on New York Daily News. This is the headline. I'm just going to read the headline.
He just reads it to himself.
Black man receives white penis transplant.
Go ahead.
Plans to tattoo it to match his skin color.
Oh.
That's
jeez.
awesome. They can do a penis transplant.
That's awesome. Apparently, it's the second one. This team has done one once before. And so it sounds like the headline's kind of misleading. It makes it sound like a mistake, but no, this wasn't a mistake. That's what they plan to
This
do.
is dick donor.
Apparently, there's a problem in
Didn't sound like a mistake to me.
there's a problem in South Africa where. Well, let me just read the first sentence
Where
for
they
now
just
from
have
the
a
article.
surplus of white penises. I don't know what to do with them.
A 40-year-old black man received a penis transplant from a white donor 17 years after he lost his own penis in a routine circumcision.
Whoa.
I think that's a misuse of the word routine.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Routine is not what I would use to describe that particular circumcision.
Apparently, South Africa has a problem with circumcisions gone wrong. And they have a very high number of penis amputations or partial amputations every year.
Fucking bummer.
My God.
And so I guess that's why this team of South African doctors now have pioneered this penis transplant technology.
It seems like you're focusing on the wrong
Yeah.
technology.
This is a preventative case.
Yeah.
It's like, one, you don't have to do it. Two, why the fuck is it getting fucked up so frequently if you are doing it? And this guy was getting circumcised at 23?
Ow.
It's just a really, really bizarre story. And they said that the other guy, they did it once before, and I think in December of 2014, that, that went successfully, and the guy was able to regain urinary and sexual functions with his penis. It healed fine. But it's I can't imagine having to live through that. And then for this guy, going through medical tattooing of the
On
penis.
your dick.
Yeah, so that
I just
it
wouldn't do
matches
that.
you.
I think that at least you get laid a lot more if you're like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm black, but my penis is white.
Would you
Got
though?
that vanilla dip.
I would get what you're going for. Don't go there. But I'm saying it's just if you had anything interesting that someone couldn't see, I feel like
That's
like the
more
dude on Reddit
valuable.
with 2 dicks.
Or it's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's like you could
Here we go
potentially
again.
have a porn career. Right? It's
Yeah.
an unusual thing that nobody's
yeah.
seen before.
Franken dick. It's got the stitches and little metal rods sticking out.
Because people be like, "There's no way." It's true. I
Yeah.
really do. I really
Yeah.
do.
That's like saying a lot of people are dying from car accidents, so we're going to pad the streets with pillows instead of putting seatbelts in. It's like just solve the
It's
circumstance.
actually we kind of do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, with the big event that happened in Manchester, not to bring this conversation down, I'm sure we're going to see very specific reactions of security measures to that event, to that specific event. Remember when the one guy went on the plane with a bomb in his shoe? Now we all take our shoes off for the rest of time when we go through.
Yeah, let's be real. We all have pre-check.
We all
Yeah.
pre-check, but you don't
I
do
do
it.
too now.
But
Oh,
so fucking fun.
sorry.
But the thing where we all have to take off our shoes now, it's then some guy's gonna bring a bomb and a watch, and no one will be able to bring their watch on a plane.
Well, you're
Well,
not.
we're starting to get there with
They're
the
never-
electronics ban now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never do what they did before, but we always react like they're gonna. Oh, now they're doing the shoe thing, and they're gonna do it all the time.
Yeah, they did it once.
Yeah, they did it once, and now we're all taking off our shoes forever.
What's the electronic ban?
Well, there was a limited laptop ban from certain Middle Eastern countries going, I think, to the UK and to the US. And there's been talk about that potentially expanding to all international flights coming into the US where your electronics cannot go into the cabin with you.
Fuck. Oh god, this is gonna be so boring.
You don't want the electronics in the cargo hold, though. I mean, it's
I assume that those go through additional screening, like another secondary.
what I'm saying
screening
is there's
process.
problems that can happen with electronics where it's better to have a person there.
Oh, right.
That can just naturally happen with electronics.
Yeah.
It's better to have a
What
person
if your
who can deal with
Samsung
it.
phone caught on fire in the
in the cargo hold.
Well, I think
Yeah.
they're more targeting malicious use.
Do they have fire suppression in cargo holds yet?
Do they have fire? I believe there's limited fire suppression in cargo
It has to be
holds.
pretty
Yeah.
limited. They're not going to haul around a bunch of water, I guess, halon canisters or something like that. But
You'd think they could just,
yeah, I know what you're
depressurize
saying.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just that's what they do. It vent all the oxygen. I know they're not in space, but
There's still,
yeah.
there's still so little oxygen at that altitude that you
Yeah.
think it'd be all right.
plus that air is super cold.
Just put out the fire.
Cold kills fire.
I
right
Kills
away.
fire. It's
Yeah.
anti-fire. It's cold.
But then I worry if I don't know if there's animals or if there's a separate. I have no idea how.
Oh, yeah.
Dog just flying down.
How
Yeah,
transporting
there are
an
animals down there.
go.
I think they just stick them in there. That's why they always die.
That's why I would never take
Hell no.
my pets with me on a trip.
I was talking to Andre. He's our guy that works in he does visual effects and stuff for live action. And he transported 2 cats from Canada. And I was like, that must have been a fucking hell process to get those cats down here.
You ever taken a cat in a car?
Yeah.
It's awful.
But in an airplane, though.
They hate cats hate everything, and they hate being in cars. I'm sure they can acclimate at some point if you take them on enough cars. But going to the vet, or I'd have to bring Joe to the office every now and then.
Do they just get on? Does he get on your shoulders?
They pant.
Yeah.
No, the worst thing they can do sometimes is they'll get at your feet and lean on the pedals, and then get out of there.
So you got to get a carrier, man.
Yeah.
Well, I have a carrier for Joe, and then he howls in it the entire time.
So one of my best friends from Texas moved to Hungary, lived there for 8 years. So she moved from Texas to Hungary with her 2 dogs. One of them's a pretty big dog, had to be in the cargo hold. One of them's a dachshund.
Sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack you here.
You're about to.
What are there no rules for taking an animal
out
to another country?
Yeah, it depends on the intaking country.
Okay.
So a lot of countries have a quarantine period.
like Australia,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Australia is a really strict one, and Hawaii actually has a pretty restrictive one too, just because it's so
New
insulated.
Zealand does too.
Okay, sorry, just curious.
But yeah, so I think it was 2 weeks. They had to sit in a kennel just for observation. So they lived in Hungary for I don't know 6 years. And so at this point, these dogs are insanely old. And she just moved back to the States. Actually, she moved to Ireland for a little bit, and now she's back in the States. So she has traveled all over the country with these dogs.
All over the world.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, all over the world. Yeah, and one of them was 15 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
How is he holding up?
She's all right. She made it.
Must be some chill ass dogs.
I know.
Yeah.
Ashley took a cat to and from Australia and had to put it in quarantine for a month every time when she moved down there.
Yeah.
Have you woken up and that cat's just trying to slit her throat?
I would be so lonely. I would be so sad if I would be there every day. I would drive the kennel place crazy. Just I'm just gonna hang out here all day.
Can
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, you can visit. Yeah.
That's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of time to invest, and that's a lot of stress to put an animal through.
Yeah.
To take them like that. Yeah, I would never take my pet on a plane or anywhere. And it's weird. I think last year I was in the Houston airport, and I think I took a photo of it. I should see if I can find it. Where there was the restrooms. There was the men's room, the women's room, and there was a pet restroom. There was a sign for a pet restroom in the airport.
Nice. I saw one of those in Seattle. It's just a little balcony where dogs can go out and pee. That's so smart because in Austin you have to leave security and come back through.
You know what's a cool thing that I've noticed about bathrooms is I've been in more and more places. I was just in Brooklyn this last weekend. I was in this hotel, and their lobby bathroom was unisex. And more unisex stuff, which is kind of neat to begin with. But I think a really cool effect of having a unisex bathrooms is the bathrooms stay way cleaner.
Are they one-holers or is it stalls?
It's stalls. So it's a room that has the sinks and then stalls with full doors, basically, floor to ceiling, doors on them. And there's a whole row of those. There's 8 or 10 of those, which is awesome because then there's also way more. You have to worry about when you're at a stadium and the line for the
one line's really long.
Yeah, it's super duper.
From my experience, men's and women's bathrooms are equally filthy. It's just the urine is in different places. Men's bathrooms, it's on the floor. Women's bathrooms, it's all over the toilet.
It's all over the seat. Yeah.
Yep.
I was having a conversation with Alana because I went to a place and I was like, oh, they had this guy cut in front of me to go to the bathroom. I was like, shit, I'm going to have to wait for that guy. But then they had unisex bathrooms. I was like, oh, score. I can just go to the other bathroom. And then I started talking to her, and I wonder, do you think in 15 years they're going to have that joke? Some kid's going to be watching a movie where there's going to be the joke where the guy goes into the girl's bathroom on accident, and that's going to be an antiquated joke.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I get what you're saying.
People are going to be like, what is, I don't even understand.
How we're why is there a no smoking sign in this classroom? That's absurd.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you think of for that the most? Something that has been lost to time and no longer makes sense as a joke or as a moment.
Phone booths is a big one.
Phone booths is a good one. Superman changing in the phone booth.
Anything that has to do with phone booths is, out of date.
That big vaudeville hook coming from off stage.
That's still funny.
I always think about the movie Poltergeist. They would talk to the ghosts after they played the national anthem and the television station went off the air and went to static. And people today would be like, what is that?
It's not even off the air, but it's also static's gone.
Yeah. There's no static anymore.
Blue.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of in the same vein, but I feel like horror movies as a genre are really screwed over by technology because for a long time it could be you're stranded in the middle of nowhere and have no way to call for help.
Yeah.
But now cell phones are so ubiquitous that there's that. So you have to almost build into the plot a rationale
Trying
for
to, like,
why the phone doesn't
Even
work.
Seinfeld's been kind of ruined by that. 'Cause, like
Yeah.
a lot of Seinfeld plots are like, oh, if they could just had a cell phone or could just
Yeah.
call someone, this would be
Like
it'd be solved.
the episode where they're waiting for the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why they're doing a lot of like period pieces. Like not only was the 80s like a cool period, but it also like cell phones weren't as common. So I
Right.
think that's why like some horror movies are like, yeah, it was it was back in the 80s before cell phones.
Well, I think even some films for a while tried to embrace the cell phone side of things. Like there was that I think it was a Korean horror film that I think there was a U.S. version called One Missed Call. It was like a horror film that centered around
Phones.
like around cell phones and around like missing a call that it was kind of like The Ring, where it's like there's this phone call and you're going to die if you hear it and that kind of stuff.
I kind of hate that if you ever watch a modern horror movie or anything. Like I watched God, what was that movie called? You're Next. Pretty shit. I didn't like it, but
like that
I
movie.
thought it was terrible. The one that the director made after that was good though. The Guest. Anyways, that was like one of the first things they addressed. As soon as the shit started hitting the fan, they were like, "Oh, my phone reception's gone." And I hate that we have to like check that box off for any sort of horror movie.
and not to shit on us, but like we had to do it in day 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone's dead. Cell phone towers died. Eventually, no one's there to maintain them.
Yeah.
Reboot, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking technology making writing harder.
Yep.
Should be ashamed.
Yeah, it's but I'm sure we'll find there'll be something new, right? There's always like it's
Always
cyclical.
something
There's always
new.
gonna be something different that pops up, and that'll be the new thing that we focus on. So changing the subject a little bit, Texas Monthly had their annual Best Barbecue in Texas list,
Texas Monthly,
Not
is that
you.
his magazine?
and
Best barbecue in Texas.